Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We are here with Brandy and Oliver, and we're going to demonstrate all the obedience commands he's learned here at school. We're going to start off by introducing the training equipment, and Brandy's got a standard 6-foot web training leash, and she keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in her right hand, which leaves her left hand free to make a correction. And the only correction we give here at school is a little tug and release on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment. Now, as you'll notice, Oliver is sitting very nicely at Brandy's left, which is where all the obedience starts and stops. And the first command we're going to demonstrate is heeling. Heeling is properly walking on the leash, always on your left, and the command is Oliver heel. Now, I am a little bit of a distraction back here, and him and I are buds. You can see him looking back at me, but whenever Brandy stops, Oliver's been trained to automatically sit and wait for another command. Now, I know one of your biggest issues with him at home was trying to walk him, and trying to walk him too around other dogs that were in your development. Now, if he doesn't sit, Brandy said no and gave a little tiny tug or correction on that training collar. Very nice. Now, the next command we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit-stay. The sit-stay is a hand and a voice command. Brandy uses her left hand a couple inches from Oliver's muzzle and the one-word firm command to stay. Now, your boy has done so good here at school. You notice Brandy dropped the leash, and she's a good 10 plus feet away from Oliver right now. He's holding this stay. When Brandy returns back to her dog, she walks all the way around him as another distraction. She stops right there at heel position, and Oliver's ready for another command, and they take off heeling. Like I said, he's done really good working around other dogs. He'll do all of these commands with other dogs within 10 or 15 feet of him. So we've worked really hard on those commands. Now, the important thing when he comes home is that you practice these commands indoors as well as outdoors. And when you first start working with him, practice in a quiet area like this if you can. Brandy gives him that stay command again. But for a small dog, he's excelled in this obedience training. He is one of the better dogs here at school, quite honestly. He's been really good with his training. He's been a real pleasure to have. They take off heeling again. You notice Brandy's praising him for doing a good job. She can speed up. She can slow down. His job is to adjust to your pace when he comes home. So if you're taking a nice leisurely walk, he should adjust. He should walk very slow, very nicely at your left. His shoulder blades basically even with your left leg. And if you're walking briskly for exercise, he should do the same. Another nice automatic sit. Brandy's going to give him that stay command again. And when he comes home, practice these stationary commands. You saw Brandy drop the leash. If you're going to do something like that, we always recommend very strongly that you do it in a fenced-in area or you do it inside. Because no matter how good Oliver has done here at school, there's never a guarantee that he won't all of a sudden see a squirrel, a rabbit, another dog, and take off. So we always are very cautious when it comes to any sort of like off-leash obedience or anything like that. We'd rather be safe than sorry. Beautiful automatic sit. But he loves doing this obedience training so much so if we're taking another dog out for training and he sees us, he wants to go. He gets jealous. So the next command we're going to show you is going to be the down from heel position. And this is where Brandy's going to use her left hand and the one-word firm command to down and to stay. Now you could see he stood up. All of these stationary commands always start with him seated. We haven't taught him to go from a standing position to a down position, so it's always seated first and then the down. Now, if he gets a little distracted, because we've done 3 other videos before Oliver's, and there's been dogs laying there, so he's smelling the other dogs that have been there. Now, he broke that last command, which isn't the end of the world, it's no big deal, but Brandy went right back to it. It's important if he does make a mistake or mess up, like we all do, that he goes back to that command and finishes it the way you want him to. So he doesn't feel like he can just do whatever he wants whenever he wants. But like I said, he loves this interaction. It's good mental stimulation for him. Down and stay. Very good. But like I said, if he sees another dog going out, Oliver's like, what about me? What about me? He holds this down, stay. Your stationary commands, that's our recall or the come command, and he's been taught to 1, come when called, and then 2, when you do call him, that he comes back and sits and not jump all over you. And doing this obedience training indoors is going to be a really good way to be able to teach him to greet you guys and family members appropriately, not jumping all over you. Down and stay again. Keep your training sessions with Oliver relatively short. 10 or 15 minutes is long enough. You can do it twice a day, 3 times a day, but keep them short and manageable.
Oliver, come.
He's such a handsome boy. He comes right back to Brandy and sits. You can hear him praising her. Like I said, we like, or if I haven't said it, we like to use praise as our reward system here at school. 1, it's readily available, it's always easy. It's right there. Occasionally we'll use treats if a dog isn't that thrilled with training, but eventually we like to eliminate treats altogether and just use praise. Now the very last command we're going to demonstrate is going to be the distance down. You put Oliver in a sit stay. You go out to the end of your training leash and use your right hand and the 1-word firm command to down. Again, as he gets better and better for you, you can drop the leash, go 10, 15 feet away, have him lay down from a distance. What I haven't said, the only time we use his name in training is Oliver heel or Oliver come. Those stationary commands, we don't use his name. But he's done a remarkable job. I mean, I remember when I picked him up, how that greeting went. He was thrilled to see me, but he was all over me. Walking was extremely difficult out to the van, so we're proud of him. He's really smart. I think you guys are going to be really happy with his training. We're always here to help, so if he comes home, I know it's a new place, new environment. If you're struggling whatsoever, please call us. We're always there for follow-up training. Thanks again for using Nora's Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer, and we'll see you soon.